So today we are going to do another video about Amberlynn Reid. Oh, wait. But this time we're actually going to be reacting to a reaction. So it's going to be a little bit different today, you guys. So if you want to see that, make sure you stay tuned. Hi guys, welcome to my channel if you are new, and welcome back if you've been around here a while. I am Kendra. This is Kendra Creates. This is where I share my weight loss journey with you. Hopefully I can help you out along the way if you're on a weight loss journey. I also provide commentary on a number of topics, including health, wellness, fitness, weight loss, exposing scams and scammers, and other things that you guys might send to me. And you'll definitely learn about me along the way. So if that stuff sounds good to you, then make sure you are subscribed to my channel. So you guys, I was on the internet and a video popped up. And of course it was from one creator that I watch a lot. I highly enjoy and I also respect, Megan Ann. And the reason why I wanted to do this video is because I feel like she has a great perspective, being that she actually had weight loss surgery. And I feel like she is very honest in her assessment of Amberlynn Reid, but also she comes from a place of empathy and also understanding. So it's kind of like the best of both worlds. Like, girl is gonna feel for you, but girl gonna tell you the truth. And I was just like, I didn't want to talk about her anymore. I didn't want to talk about Amberlynn Reid anymore. But I was like, she has so many good points in her video. Like, I'm going to make sure to put the link in the description box. Like, there's going to be a lot of stuff that I'm not going to talk about that she hit the nail on the head, or she went really in depth with her own experiences. And this is the reason why, like, I make these videos about like specific people or certain people. It's not like to pick on them. It's not like to bash them. It is for us to learn something from them. And I feel like we all can learn something in life, and we continue learning. We never stop learning. And even when I put myself out there for you guys to see, I hope that you can learn something from me, whether it's like somewhere where I messed up, somewhere where I succeeded, like something that I found, some information I found, and I'm just giving it to you, or whatever the case may be. So I feel like we're all here to learn. It's not to just critique and criticize and poke fun at, and and then it's also about entertainment too. Hopefully I can make you laugh a little bit, lighten up the mood and stuff. But when it comes down to like all of this, dieting, weight loss, stuff like that, it's really a serious matter. And for people like Amberlynn Reid, it's pretty much life or death when you get up to the size that she is. So I just want to preface by saying that I really hope that one day, she really gets her stuff together. And I really hope that she does lose the weight, because it doesn't matter. She's a human and it's a human life. And regardless of how you feel about her, like, you don't want to see nobody die, like, So I just wanted to preface all of that. And I think we're going to get straight into that first clip.
Every story is different. Everyone, it's a different plan. It's not one size fits all at all. So she's actually talking to the surgeon tomorrow about my story and my situation in particular. And she said she's going to get back to me.
I think the thing that's always fascinated me about Amberlynn, and I've seen a lot of other people talk about this as well, is that she feels like her situation is like so much different than any other fat person's, when really it's not. Especially when it comes to weight loss surgery. Like, everybody gets weight loss surgery having like a problem with food or whatever, but they do make sure that that problem with food is under control before you get surgery. And so I think it's real, although this is a horrifying pause. I'm so sorry, Amberlynn. I've always thought it was interesting that Amberlynn has always thought that she's just so like unique and that she needs like special situations or special accommodations to like fix this, when really it's not that. Like, yeah, losing weight can be harder for different people, especially women, and so like I get that, but it's like, it's not, I really don't think she's like as a unique of a case as she thinks she is, personally.
Okay, so basically this whole video that she's critiquing, actually she's critiquing 2 videos in one, but this first video is after the I Got Bad News video. That is the one that I critiqued. And if you have not saw that one, make sure you check it out. But this is after that I Got Bad News video. And so people were like calling Amberlynn Reid a spoiled brat because she wanted surgery when she wanted surgery. And she's trying to now like talk to the surgeon and all of that. And so I think Megan Ann like makes a great point. Like, you're not special, girl. I understand that we all have different things going on with us, right? Some of us suffer from certain medical issues that make losing weight more difficult. But when it all comes down to it, like, you have a protocol to follow with this medical practice. You have to follow their rules, their regulations. And what makes you think that you're so special that they're going to make an exception for you? Like, who are you? You are a patient, just like everyone else is at that practice. So she like needs to get some patience. Like, she needs to chill out. Like, you are pretty much the same as everyone else who is obese. Like, you have to chill out. Like, you have to do what these people say in order to try to lose the weight. And the thing about it is, she can lose weight right now, but because of what she has going on in her life, in her mind, within her, inside of herself, she's not going to do that. But we're going to talk about that a little bit later.
I could talk to the surgeon, of course.
And she wishes this was where I was like, okay, I need to start talking about this. This surgeon knows who is going to be good for surgery and who isn't. And so does the dietitian, to be honest. And I talked about this in my last video. I feel like these people can smell somebody who feels like it's just like, especially for self-pay, which she is, that it's just easy to like walk in, go check all the boxes, pay the money, and get the surgery. I feel like they can smell people like that a mile away. And I genuinely feel like Amberlynn would tell the surgeon what she thinks he wants to hear to get surgery, and I don't think that they'd buy it. Like, I just don't think that it would be bought. And so, yeah, when she was like, I want to talk to the surgeon, I was like, bestie, that's not how this works. That's not how this works in any bariatric program that I know of.
And I wanted to bring this clip here. Like, I wanted to talk about this clip because I think this is so important for you to have, like, open lines of communication with your doctors and your medical professionals. And then I also feel like it's important for you to be truthful with them, for you to be honest with them, and for you not to tell them what you think that they want to hear. Like, you can't fool these people. These people deal with people like you every single day. And they see it. Like Megan said, they saw right through her. They see her entitlement. They think that just because she's self-pay, she can walk in there and do whatever she wants to do, and she doesn't have to follow their protocol and their rules. Like, yes, you do, sis. Like, sit down, chill out, do what you need to do to get approved, and like, you know. But if you're sitting here and you're maintaining 500 pounds, you're not going to be approved, pretty much. And I think she has it in her mind that, you know, just as long as, you know, she can, I guess, maintain that weight, since previously they say she only had to lose 1 pound, which, please. Then she can be approved since she's self-paid. And like Megan said, they can see right through that child.
You can have both. So I don't know if it's one of these, but it's like, I feel like I need to have my surgery date scheduled, even if it is a year from now.
And I do understand, I'm sorry, I'm pausing a lot. I do understand this sentiment because, so I lost 40 pounds before I had surgery. And people always ask me, they're like, well, why didn't you just keep going that way? Why did you have the surgery? And for me, in my mind, my like very goal-oriented mind, I was working, I was in the mindset that I was working towards surgery this whole time. And so like that was my goal. And so I met that goal to lose the weight before surgery, and then I had surgery. And so having like a date in mind, I think I can definitely understand that in terms of like you have a goal to work towards.
Now, nothing is wrong with having a goal to work towards. And in her mind, in Amberlynn Reid's mind, she believes that if they schedule her a surgery date a year out, then it's going to like make her be more compliant. I don't really know. But it's not weird because what we call that is extrinsic motivation. That is motivation outside yourself. Those are external things that motivate you towards some type of goal. It could be rewards, it could be money, it could be, whatever the case may be. And in her mind, that is going to help her be motivated to do what she needs to do to get the surgery. And then the opposite of that is intrinsic motivation that comes from within inside yourself, not necessarily external motivating factors. That's just like, I want to do this for myself because of XYZ. And she really has no intrinsic motivation. And I don't even think that extrinsic motivation factors motivate her. Because, there's so many things that losing weight can do for her. And I don't think it matters to her, She could be more mobile. She could go more places. She could move. I know she said that she wanted to move one day. There's so many things. She doesn't have to worry about all of these health problems. But the thing about it is that even though you can have external factors motivate you to do something, it's always not necessarily going to last, because especially on this whole weight loss journey thing, it's long as hell. And she weighs a lot. And so it's really going to be really, really long. And so what happens after you have the surgery? Do you just lose all motivation? If it's that serious to you to have a surgery date, won't you just make one up in your mind? Because no surgeon is going to give you a surgery date a year out. You're not going to take up a spot on the calendar and you haven't even been through all the testing that you need to get done. You could go for some tests and not be cleared for surgery. You could never get to where you need to be to get this surgery. Because, I've said before, I'm pretty sure they're going to want this girl to lose some more weight. And if you can't even do that, you're not going to get the surgery. So what happens to your motivation after you get the surgery and the surgery date is gone? What happens after that? Because believe me, on your journey, there are going to be plenty of times where you feel like giving up. What happens then?
Everything that happens from surgery happens after you have it. And so, yes, getting the surgery is a process, but post-op is so much more difficult than pre-op in hindsight. And because after you have weight loss surgery, you are someone who has to deal with the effects of it for the rest of your life. Or if you don't do that, you'll gain the weight back. So I think she's looking at weight loss surgery, just from what I've seen, I feel like she's looking at weight loss surgery as this one thing that she just has to get done and it'll fix all of her problems. When really the fixing comes afterwards.
This is exactly what I was just talking about. And Megan made that point so clear. The hard work comes not now. This isn't hard work. Hard work is after you get weight loss surgery. Now, I talked about weight loss surgery on another video. Please check out my Alexandra Rodriguez video, okay? Because she talks about her failed weight loss surgery. She's lost 100 pounds, yes, but she is still considered obese. So it's where do you go from there? Like, this is where the hard work comes in. This is where all these reinforcements of these healthy habits that you should have learned before you got the surgery, this is where they come in at, right? This is where all that work you did with your therapist and all of these people, this is where that work comes in, right? Because you are going to be tempted. You are going to have bad days. You are going to have hard days. If you still have issues with food, they're going to creep back up, baby. And before you know it, you guzzling down sodas and you eating chips and you eating cookies. And it's like, oh my God, what do I do? Because eventually you aren't going to feel like those restricting effects that you once felt from the surgery. So this is when the hard work comes in, is after you get the surgery.
OCPD, obsessive compulsive personality disorder, where I feel like I have to be in control and I have to have it the right way, and like the appointments have to be the right way in the right order, and it's just like I don't have this control. And I feel like I would have a sense of control if I just like had an exact date.
One of the things with weight loss surgery too is you kind of have to relinquish some control, because some things are going to react with you differently and you don't know that and you're not expecting it and whatever. You have to very much develop, specifically after you have the surgery, you have to kind of develop the whatever happens mentality, because like there's just some things that you cannot plan for after surgery. And so like I had to go to the ER because I thought I had a blood clot, and like plain water made me sick for like the first 2 weeks after I had surgery, and like all this like weird little stuff happens after surgery, and it still does sometimes. And so I think this also just proves that Amberlynn needs more psychological work before she has surgery, because you do kind of have to relinquish control a little bit, actually a lot of it, after surgery, I found anyways.
I think Megan made a great point, and this is from her experience that she has. And this is why I wanted to talk about this video, because she has experience, so she can like tell you what's the real deal, like what's going on, you know? And I can totally 100% understand the relinquishing of the control. Amberlynn Reid is like, oh, I have to have my appointments in a certain way and the right way. No, ma'am. No, ma'am. You don't know the right way. You don't know what order things need to go in. You don't know this stuff. These people are doing this for a reason. They have a protocol in their practice that they follow, and you have to follow it. If you do not, go somewhere else. Like literally, go somewhere else. There are plenty of places that don't have this rule, you know, from what I hear on the internet. So go to one of those places. There are plenty of places that you can go, your self-pay. Remember, like, I just don't get it. But you do have to relinquish that control, because even after you have the surgery, you don't know what's going to happen. Like, you don't know how your body is going to react. And I think this is why people don't take it as serious as it really is. Like, people are cutting you open. Like, they're removing a part of your body, right? And depending upon which surgery you have, there's the bypass where they reroute your small intestine, right? And that can cause a lot of different issues with your stomach and, you know, eating food and things like that. It could cause it. So it's like, you don't know how your body's going to react. You have to relinquish all control. You have to trust these medical professionals that they're doing the right thing for you. And I don't think she quite understands that.
And it's going to help me. This might be the tool that might actually save my life. Example, if you're trying to hang up this picture, and it's like you try to hang it up for 10 years and it's not hanging. You're like, what is happening? You realize, oh, okay, this picture's pretty heavy. Maybe I need...
I've already watched this, and like it's not a good metaphor in my opinion.
Get that nail. The nail is right there. It's in arm's reach. But they say, you know what? Let's wait a year. You're like, damn. I just need that one last little tool so I can hang the picture on my wall. That might be a bad metaphor, but that's just the best way to explain it. That like my picture can't be hung without the nail, you know, and that's my metaphor for weight loss surgery. Sure.
I also like, I get, because I think when you get weight loss surgery, like it does feel like it's kind of like your last ditch option. At least it should when you're getting weight loss surgery, in my opinion. And so I get that, but I think also realizing and knowing and preparing for a very significant amount of work on your own outside of the surgery post-op is also very important. And from this, I'm just getting that Amberlynn thinks this is literally the only way that she can lose weight now. When really, if she just stuck to a diet pre-op and like moved a little bit more, I genuinely feel like the weight would be falling off of her because of her size. Like, I lost 40 pounds in a relatively short amount of time, and I was half the size she is.
She brought up a very good point. And I talked about this when I did my last Amberlynn Reid video. Like, she doesn't even really have to stick to any kind of specific diet. Like, she literally could cut out one thing from her diet. Say she eats cookies, right? And she doesn't eat those cookies anymore. And go outside, walk her dogs every single day, or dogs, whatever. I don't know. Walk her pets. Walk her pet. Every single day, she would lose so much weight. I'm telling you, it takes, when you're that big, it's small changes. And even Megan said so herself. She was a bit over 300. I'm not sure how much she was. She was a bit over 300. I was nearly 400. And she said, Megan said she lost her weight relatively, easy. Like, and I feel the same way, because when you have poor habits, when you have poor eating habits, when you have zero physical activity, like you start changing that even with little bitty things, you lose weight very fast and what you deem seemingly as very easily. She would lose weight so fast if she tried. And I'm not saying that she would get down to like a normal BMI, like that. She would have, it would be a very long, arduous process, and I do feel like weight loss surgery could be extremely beneficial in her case. But preparing herself for the surgery, she could be doing wonders for her life and herself and her health and her body right now. But she doesn't seem to want to do that.
But I can't get to a healthy weight without the help of surgery. And you guys have seen that. I've lost 89 pounds multiple times in my life. The most I've ever lost is 116. I can't go any further than that. Like, I need help. And that is why weight loss surgery is there. And, I'm very saddened.
And I really think the reason that she, quote, can't get any further than that is because of her ED. And we're going to talk about in the next video that she doesn't think that she has that ED anymore. But I genuinely think that the reason up until this point that she has not been able to get past that certain weight loss point is because of her ED, which needs work, which in turn makes her not a suitable candidate for weight loss surgery yet.
And I think this is the part that everyone was pretty much amazed at. The fact that Amberlynn Reid went back and said, no, I actually don't have binge eating disorder. Even though she was literally diagnosed with it. We've seen her, well, I haven't, but from what everyone else says from her old videos, seen her binge eat on camera or like prepare to binge eat as far as like the food she's gonna eat. She's talked about it many, many times on her channel. And like, I can remember when she stopped doing keto. This is fairly recently. And she actually ate a bag of Chips Ahoy cookies. From my understanding, she ate the whole entire bag. Now, do you mean to tell me that that's not a binge? She says she doesn't binge. She just overeats because she eats normally large portions. And I get that you eat normally large portions. I really do. Because I did that at one point in time. That's how I was raised. But just because you eat normally large portions, that doesn't mean that you can't binge. Like, both of those things can exist. And I think she's really in denial, even though she says she exaggerated her eating. Ma'am, no, you didn't. Because you did mukbangs on your channel.
Like 3 times the amount of food you normally eat. Like, I've never done that. And people are coming out of the woodwork saying like how binging is like you get so desperate you need the condiments in your home. What? I've never done that.
So, I have never been diagnosed with a binge eating disorder. I genuinely don't think I ever really had like an eating disorder, but my eating was disordered, if that makes sense. Like, my relationship with food was not quote unquote normal, but I definitely wasn't to the point of having an eating disorder. But from what I understand about binge eating disorder from people who have had it or who have it and are recovering or are recovered from it, is that a binge looks different from person to person. So like the amount of food that quantifies as a binge to somebody is extremely subjective. And so I think she had the dietitian give probably an example of saying like, oh, a binge is like when you eat 3 times the amount that a normal person does. And she took that and she just ran with it and was like, well, I don't binge. I'm fine. I don't need to do any more mental work or psychological work before I have surgery. And like, she's just running with it.
Megan says later on, like, and I'm not going to play all of that because I don't have time for all that. You don't get to be her size unless you have a serious problem. And it's the truth. Like, people can be in denial all they want to be. But you do not get to be 500 pounds, nearly 600 pounds, unless you have a serious problem with eating. Pretty much. Like, you can't tell me that in one sitting, you're not eating large quantities of food, which would constitute a binge. Like, yeah, you can overeat. Yeah, that's how people are like, 200 pounds, 250 pounds, right? And even they binge, right? But you don't get to be 500 pounds, 600 pounds and say like, you don't binge. But whatever, lady. You can live in your delusion land if you'd like to. And I think that this is a first step in a weight loss journey, is to kind of admit to yourself like the issues that you have. Because part of the issues that people have are up here, right? You will only get so far in your weight loss journey if you do not solve what's going on up here, right? I am actively in the process of trying to solve what's going on up here, y'all. And if y'all want to see all that, just make sure that you watch my weekly progress videos about my weight loss journey. And it's been wild. But if she can fix what's going on up here, she would be so much better off, And she says like, oh, she worked with a therapist for you. Well, girl, keep working. Keep working, girl. Keep working because you need a lot of work. But not only do you need to work with the therapist, but you also need to put some of those actions in place. Most of the time they give you some type of treatment plan and you have to be compliant in your treatment plan. You have to do the things that you say that you're going to do. When you say that you're going to, take smaller sips or don't drink through a straw or not drink diet sodas or drink more water or cut back on your calories or take more steps, you actually have to do those things. And if you did those things, you would not be maintaining 500 pounds. That's pretty much all I have to say. And I appreciate Megan Ann's commentary on the whole entire situation. From the perspective of someone who has had weight loss surgery, it is very refreshing. And I appreciate that people do put their stories out here on the internet so it can be a case analysis. So we can really dive into their behaviors. And I think it's a model for us to be like them or not be like them. So I definitely want to keep talking about people around the internet and talking about issues that go on. And I love it. I love doing my commentary. I really do. And I also like talking about my journey. So if you're interested in that, then make sure you check out my weight loss playlist. It has so many videos and it starts from the beginning of 2022 all the way up until now, week by week, my progress. So if you like that, make sure you check it out. Also, if you like this video, make sure that you give it a thumbs up. I hope that you do. And also subscribe to my channel if you're not subscribed yet. And I appreciate you so much for watching this video. And make sure you continue to spread kindness in a world full of hate. And I will see you next time. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.